Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Nisley introducing to you week 6 of our class. And this week's a pretty busy week. So I want to apologize in getting this announcement to you kind of late in the game. I had a church emergency today and just got back from that. But this week, you're going to be focusing on making healthy disciples, growing a healthy church. And you're going to be listening to a podcast which has a couple of people that I know well, Alan Rathbun and Terry Smith, and they're going to be interviewing Dan Spader himself, so you should enjoy that. Your week 6 discussion is evaluating the model of discipleship effectiveness that you have in a church, giving people a value of M1 through M7. So it can be a little controversial, and I'll be curious to see your insights on that. For your small group discussion, like you did for week 4, you're going to each be picking a chapter to summarize. And this is great stuff, bread and butter, ministry stuff. Probably mentioned this to you before, but my own board of elders and I have been going through this book for the last year plus. So you have lots of very applicable stuff to be able to talk about, and stuff I hope you use in your future ministries. And then you have your discipleship self-assessment assignment. Now make sure you get your assessment purchased, and I think it costs $19. So it's like the cost of a textbook for you. Make sure you get that purchased by December 13th, because that was the cutoff date that the person at Crown had set up for our class. And then as you're doing this assignment, I want to just encourage you to make sure that you have an introductory paragraph with your thesis statement at the end. And I always encourage my students to use a real simple, basic thesis statement like this paper will, and then say the 3 things that the paper will do. And then, of course, you do those 3 things in your paper. That's just American technical writing. I'm going to say it, I'm saying it, and I said it in the conclusion. And then you're going to need to summarize some lessons that you've learned, and you don't have to go on for a couple of pages. You can keep that summary rather brief. And then we want you to evaluate the assessment. So in order to evaluate it, to say whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing, you have to first identify your own philosophy/theology of discipleship from Luke and Acts. So you want to perhaps make reference to a scripture or two that informs what's your theology of people growing as disciples. So I know a passage that informs my theology of discipleship is Jesus on the road to Emmaus with the 2 disciples, as he's explaining the Old Testament to them in light of his messianic understanding. Their eyes are opened up and they understand the mission of Jesus. And that's one of the things that I want people to do in my church. So just make sure that you talk about that. You at least mention it. A lot of people, they just gloss over this section because I think they're confused by it. So make sure you don't. And by the way, make sure when you write this paper that you're writing according to the grading rubric, because that's how I'm contractually obligated to grade you, okay? So make sure that you make it easy for me to make it easy for you, if you know what I mean. All right, you get it. And then finally, you want to assess the viability of using this tool in a ministry context, whether a parachurch ministry or your own local church ministry. And of course, you're working on your final project. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I just had a wonderful discussion with one of you guys on the phone, and I said to them how much easier it is for both of us to have these phone calls and to talk things through than it is for us to worry about what the other person's thinking. So give me a call. Let me help you out. Let's clarify it and make sense of any of your questions. All right. Care for you guys. Hope class is going well for you. and I will talk with you soon. May the Lord bless you as you work. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.